Hello everyone, Pop Swagger here, and today we're going to be doing another Reddit read. We're going to be getting today's story off of the best of Redditor updates, posted here about 14 hours ago. It's a full-on story that's been concluded, so let's get into this, see what's up. The title is, My 28 female, boyfriend 28 male, expects me to keep up a lie with his family, but it feels wrong. From that, I'd say that this isn't going to be a great story. Why is your boyfriend wanting to lie to his family? Why does he feel the need to lie to his family? Is it a lie about you? Is it a lie about him? There's so many variables to this. The original post was made on December 18th, 2019. Let's get into it. So, my boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years. We live across the country from his parents, so this Christmas is the first time I will actually be meeting them. They are hosting us at their house for 2 weeks. I'm super thrilled to meet his family. It will be his parents and 2 siblings that still live at home. He has met my parents quite a few times because they live in the same area as us. He moved here for school about 10 years ago and loved it, found a job and stayed. Everything is going amazing. We moved in together 2 years ago and our relationship is just progressing naturally. We aren't really in a rush to try to move quickly or anything, but I will call it a very serious relationship at this point. I mean, I don't... it just confused me a bit, like why we're not trying to rush. You guys have been together for 2 years, or 4 years, moved in together 2 years. That there's no rush to your relationship. You seem to be, putting good space making milestones. Anyway, so anyway, it's kind of funny. So anyway, yesterday was boarded. Yesterday we boarded our 6-hour flight. He seemed a bit nervous and fidgety, but I know that he doesn't fly very much, so attributed it to that and told him that I was there for him if he needed anything to comfort him, and to let him know if I could do anything to calm his nerves. He said it was fine and we were having a pretty good flight. Now, partway through the flight, he grabs my hand and tells me he wants to tell me something. Oh, shit. So not only is he asking her to lie for him, he's asking on the flight there. So, like, no prep time, nothing. Just, hey, you're going to need to start lying when you land. Like, that's insane. Let's see what he told her. He tells me that his parents think that we are a fairly new relationship. They don't know that we live together. They don't know that he's close with my family. He told them that we met at work when in actuality we met at school years ago. We had a lot of the same classes and met in school but stayed friends for a long time. Tells me that they think he lives in an entirely different city. He lied to them about what degree he has and they think he has an entirely different job. He told me that a few white lies about making his parents happy so that they would keep sending him money during school snowballed into not knowing how to tell them, and he pretty much has a totally fake life in their eyes now. Oh my god. He told them that I work in the same field as his fake job, even though I don't. He gave them a totally random family backstory on me. He really wants me to keep up appearances with the stories he's told them over this holiday, because he doesn't want to make a big scene and be embarrassed about having to lay it all out and prefer to wait until we get home again to tell them everything. Now, nope. When you get off the plane, you just go ahead and get you another ticket and go back to where you were. This holiday is not a good idea. Tell him he needs to go talk to his family and tell them what's really going on, and when he can prove he's done that, then you guys might be able to continue their relationship. But this is insane. He's lying to his family about every aspect of his life, including his girlfriend's existence in every way, which means he's been lying to her this whole time. Not directly, but indirectly, because she had no idea that they have no idea she's existed over the last 4 years of his life, that they live in a completely different city. Like, I don't even know if, like, that's worth even trying. Like, that, maybe you just leave him there and that's the end of it. Like, that's disgusting. I feel extremely uncomfortable with this, and I was honestly pretty shocked. I have said hello to his mom on speakerphone conversations, popped in for a Skype call when they are chatting, and honestly had no idea that he had made up a huge story about us and me. I realize now that I've only actually spoken to her in the last year, which is how long his family thinks we've been together. It makes me feel like I can't trust him, because you can't. He promised me that this is the only thing he's ever lied about. He said he lied about it because he wanted his parents to be happy with his decisions and wanted them to think he was making the choices they wanted for him. Oh, he wanted to manipulate his parents so he could keep getting money, and then he just wanted to keep doing it because why we might have an uncomfortable conversation if I tell them I've been lying to them for years. Years. Would it be reasonable to assume that these are the only lies he has told and he hasn't fabricated anything within our own relationship? He never told me that they didn't know anything about us. He always made it seem like they did. I'm not really sure where to go from here or how to tell him that I don't want to do this. His parents paid for our tickets. Would the nice thing to do just be close my mouth and let him sort this out on his own when we get home and just play along? I don't know what to do. We got here yesterday and everyone is fabulous, but so far I have just kept my mouth shut about everything. The first big family dinner is tonight, which I expect is where most of the conversation about us and what we do is going to come up, and I'm not sure how to handle it. TLDR, my boyfriend invented fake careers for him and myself and totally lied about what we do and where we live to his family so that they would be more impressed with him or proud of him. He wants me to keep these appearances up at family dinner, but that makes me uncomfortable. No, I mean, that's just disgusting. This guy's... He needs to go to therapy. Like, I think I say that a lot in my videos, but this guy needs therapy bad. Got some relevant comments here. His parents paid for our tickets. This is quoting OP. This is quoting OP. His parents paid for our tickets. Would the nice thing to do just be close my mouth and let him sort this out on his own when we get home and just play along? They said, why would continuing to lie to these people be the best way to repay them for your flight? That's a good point. OP responded, I just meant that I don't want to be the reason there's a huge blowout if this is something that I should be letting him keep between them. The people directly affected. I didn't mean I want to thank them by being a horrible person. So then you tell them. Or you force him to tell them. Not that that's great in a relationship, but I would have just literally got off the plane and got another ticket back home and got on a different plane and went home. I would not be entertaining any of this. Next comment. I don't think you can ever trust your boyfriend again. He's lying because he's afraid to disappoint his parents, and there's no reason he wouldn't do the same to you. If he gets fired from his job, he might just pretend he's still going to work every day and never tell you. If he cheats on you, he'll never admit it. If he goes into debt, he'll keep it a secret and pretend everything is fine while it continues to get worse. He didn't tell you about the situation with his parents until the last minute when he had no other option, except the option to come clean, which he didn't take. That's the level of truthfulness and integrity you can expect from him. He'll lie to you when it makes him look better or to cover one of his previous lies, and he'll tell you the truth when he's all out of other options. OP responded, it's really hard to swallow that. I see what you're saying though. That person responded to OP, I would be more understanding if his parents had impossible standards that he could never live up to and he had to lie to them just to maintain his peace and sanity. But that's not the impression I'm getting. It sounds like he's been lying about a lot of things for a long time and still thinks he can get out of it by telling more lies. I would tell him to come clean with his parents before dinner, because you won't cover for him. If he does it and actually faces the consequences of his lies for once, maybe he can learn something from this and change his ways. OP responded, yes, that's true, and yes, his parents weren't expecting a surgeon or anything. They think he's a teacher, but he's an architect. It's still an awesome profession and no way lesser than a teacher, so I don't understand it at all. I think I will have to tell him either he has to come clean or I'm answering honestly at dinner. Yeah, it's apparently, I also thought that it was maybe like, you know, he was going to school to be like a banker and then he decided to be like a teacher or something. So he's making way less money, and that's like the shame. He's in a job that pays better than a teacher. It's something he enjoys. It's something that society needs. Architects are the reason we have so many cool things. So yeah, no, it's super weird him not wanting to be honest. Very weird. The next comment. Yeah, that is weird. I feel like most people think of an architect as being more prestigious than a teacher. Right. I wouldn't say that, because teachers are top notch. Like, we don't respect our teachers enough in this country by any means. I live in America, by the way. Not that tons of people around the world are watching me. If you are, what's up? Thanks for watching. Teachers are very important in all of society. They're the reason society learns. So I could get where, I guess there's that kind of a step down, you know, instead of you being this person who's going to work with children and shape minds in the future and things like that. Now you're just shaping their buildings, and, you know, it's a bit different. But at the same time, if you're happy, that's what your parents care about. Comment. What I don't understand is that the guy is an architect when his parents wanted him to be a teacher. How can he think so poorly of his own parents who paid for his education to assume they wouldn't respect his choices? Unless they're crazy, strict, or abusive, I just don't understand why you would conceal so much. OP responded, "Yeah, it's a fabulous job and he has wonderful parents. I'm sure they would be incredibly proud. His younger sister is a McDonald's manager and they treat her promotions as they would if she just made partner at a law firm. There's no way they would be disappointed. I feel so frustrated at him and honestly, I feel betrayed for his parents. They paid his way. It's so frustrating to feel trapped in this situation." So there's something else going on here. He's still lying to her. There's something else going on because they seem like supportive parents. They want their kids to, excel and be happy at whatever they do. So there's something else going on here. Hopefully we'll get into that. Let's see. All right, so here's an update during the same day. So I'm going to assume this is either after she told him to tell the truth or after dinner and things came out. Don't know yet, haven't read it. Let's get into this. Update. So I decided to tell him that I won't be perpetrating the lies and I won't outright say anything because I don't feel like it would be appropriate for me to be the reason everything blows up. I actually decided not to go to the first family dinner and I'm unsure if I'm going to stay at this point, but I don't really know what to do. I didn't pay for the ticket, so I feel really horrible about seeming ungrateful, but I got a hotel for 3 nights just to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm still thinking because everything is just so intertwined and complicated. Our bank accounts, our rental agreement, etc. So apart from the fact that I want to make this relationship work because I love him, it's also not really simple enough for me to just break away and leave. I want to work this out for everyone and figure out how to help him tell his family before we leave. Anyway, I'm so sorry I'm so late for updating, but I will update again when I have a more concrete plan. His family is amazing and I feel wretched about everything. Alright, update number 2, and this is the next day. Update 2. Okay, I think we have come to what will hopefully be the start of a resolution. So, I told his mom that I was so incredibly grateful for her generosity so far, even just one day into the trip, which is why I actually needed to take some time away and stay at a hotel for a few days because staying with her didn't feel right until we cleared up some personal issues that have just come to light. I talked to my boyfriend and we decided on a plan. Tomorrow morning, his mom and dad are meeting us in a restaurant in the hotel. I offered to take them to brunch to discuss everything. I told him and his mom separately that I really want to be a part of this family, and for that to happen, we all need to have a big conversation. The plan is, at brunch, my boyfriend is going to lay everything out on the table. I'm going to explain to them that I didn't even realize that the lies have been going on and I wasn't comfortable staying there and lying to their face. And that I just found out about this the day we landed. I wanted to make sure that my boyfriend resolved this with them because from the moment I found out, I felt horrible and wanted to get off on the right foot with them. We both wanted to make sure that my boyfriend came clean while we were there. When I was talking to my boyfriend, there was definitely some tears, and I think he's going to feel so much weight off his chest when he finally talks about this. I really don't think he wanted or intended for this to happen. I don't think he would have brought me here if he wasn't okay with the truth eventually coming out. I will definitely update when the conversation happens. Thank you so much for the advice and support, everyone. I still feel like something else is going on. It's totally possible that he did just let it snowball and it got out of control, but I feel like his parents seem like very kind and compassionate people. They would understand. They're not going to, "Oh, you've lied to us for years. Get away from us. We're never talking to you again." It doesn't seem like they're that kind of people. Some relevant comments. Is this a cultural thing, maybe? I know some ethnicities get so much crap from parents' kids learn to just lie reflectively. Of course, you should break up, but since you don't want to snoop in his actual life, he's likely lying about what he's lying about. OP responded, "I don't think so, honestly. They're pretty secular, white bread Irish folk. I honestly couldn't see it being cultural, but maybe, I guess. I'm not sure what the Irish people are normally like with their kids." And then it's a laughing, nervous face with a little sweat drop right there. I don't know if this is somebody else commenting or if this is somebody. Okay, so this is somebody asked OP this question and they just made it its own part of the post because of the big answer. So I'm guessing multiple people said maybe the boyfriend is lying about being an architect. She said, "I know for sure he is an architect. I'm not worried about that part genuinely. He does a lot of work from our home office. I also hosted the Christmas party for his office the last 2 years, so I know his bosses and coworkers really well. I'm 100% positive they would have corrected me or not mentioned him during conversations and discussions about design projects. He's in a semi-senior role at his work, and I frequently stop by his office after work. We usually meet in the reception area to drive home. His office always also has his name and job title, project manager, on his door. Trust me, he couldn't be fabricating the career with me so close in our general relationship with the office. Not trying to argue with you or anything, as I'm sure there's other lies, but his career and our bills are totally kosher. There's no worries there. I'm an industrial designer and familiar enough with the career and worked in long enough the field that I would catch a lie about his work pretty instantly. My guess is that's something to do with his parents funding him and assuming he has an education degree because that's what he told them he was taking for some reason. Whether he knew right away that wasn't what he was going to do or change once he got to school, I honestly have no idea. We hadn't met yet at that time. That's the reason it's so strange and frustrating for me because he has a fabulous career. Alright, now this is final update, December 20th, which is 2 days after the original post, 1 day after the update 3. It feels like so much to have to type out, so I'm going to try and condense it to be as straightforward and simple as possible. Basically, the brunch went really well, which I knew it would. His parents seem like reasonable people. I was very impressed by my boyfriend. He's actually really forthcoming and laid out pretty much everything. He apologized to me and to his parents, and he gave me an opportunity to tell them anything I wanted to tell them about my actual family, my life. They were really interested, and it was really refreshing just to start to get to know them on an honest level. He basically came clean about absolutely everything, including some other personal stuff that I didn't even know about that he had told myself and them. He apologized and promised he was going to take steps to earn her trust back, including therapy. It really actually felt like it brought us closer together. His parents are quite hurt and initially upset, but I think it really did a lot for what they thought of me as a partner for their son and future daughter-in-law, which I'm really happy about. They were really supportive in the end and told him that basically at the end of the day, he is still loved and they will just start building that trust up. I'm going to continue staying at their house now, and they will tell his siblings together. I actually ended up sitting down for a cup of tea at their place with his mom, and she did explain to me that she's going to talk to him privately about the pressure he might have felt to lie to them, because I guess they realize now that they put more pressure into him than any of the other kids because he was originally going to follow his dad's footsteps as an English teacher. She told me that she really likes me and hopes it doesn't affect my view of their family or her son. She thanked me for pushing for the honesty, and I can't wait for the opportunity to get closer to us. My boyfriend also seems so much more open to having conversations about coming back and having them come stay with us. It really worked out in the long run for me to not just make a hasty decisions because I'm really happy with how this turned out. To me, it just seems like just mistakes on both sides that accumulated into a really bad choice on his head. Thank you everyone for the advice. I wonder how that all went long term, because that's right before the pandemic happened here in America. So they definitely got tested right after that as well. But it sounds like everything worked out pretty crazy. She sounds like a really intelligent and emotionally intelligent person who took the right steps to take care of an issue. So mad props to her, and it sounds like he stepped up as much as and there wasn't some darker secret like I thought. It's a little, depressing when you're wrong, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, it's a nice little story. Glad it worked out for him. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. We can have a conversation. I want to thank everyone for clicking on this video. Hope you have a wonderful day. And remember, try to be kind out there.